Most people think building wealth is about making one big move, finding the perfect stock, buying at the perfect time, getting lucky with one investment, or suddenly making a massive amount of money. But for most people, real wealth is not built through one lucky decision. It is built through time, consistency, patience, and one powerful force that most beginners completely underestimate: compound interest. Compound interest is the reason small amounts of money can become surprisingly large over time. It is the reason starting early can matter more than starting big. And it is the reason boring, consistent investing can sometimes beat exciting, risky decisions. In this video, I will explain compound interest in the simplest way possible. No complicated formulas, no confusing financial jargon, just the basic idea of how money can grow, why time matters so much, and how beginners can use this concept to build long-term wealth. And make sure you watch until the end, because I will show you the biggest mistake that can destroy the power of compounding before it ever gets started. So what is compound interest? The simplest way to understand it is this: compound interest is when your money earns money, and then that money also starts earning money. Imagine you invest $100. If it grows by 10%, you now have $110. That extra $10 is your return. But here is where compounding becomes powerful. The next time your money grows, you are not only earning on the original $100. You are also earning on the extra $10. So your returns begin to earn returns. And over time, this creates a snowball effect. At first, the growth looks slow, almost boring. But as the years pass, the snowball gets bigger. The money you invested grows. The returns grow. Then the returns on those returns grow. That is compound interest. It is not magic. It is math. But over enough time, it can feel almost magical. The most important ingredient in compound interest is time. Not hype, not luck, not perfect timing. Time. This is why starting early is so powerful. A person who starts investing small amounts early can sometimes end up with more money than someone who starts later but invests larger amounts. Why? Because the first person gave compounding more years to work. In the beginning, progress may not look impressive. You might invest for 1 year and think, that is it. But the real power comes later. Compounding is slow at first and powerful later. That is why so many people give up too early. They expect huge results immediately. But compound growth rewards patience. Think of it like planting a tree. For a long time, it looks like nothing is happening. The roots are growing underground. Then, years later, the tree becomes strong enough to produce shade, fruit, and growth on its own. Money can work the same way when it is invested consistently over time. The earlier you plant, the longer it has to grow. One of the biggest myths about investing is that you need to be rich to start. Many beginners think, I will start investing when I make more money. I will start when I have thousands saved. I will start when life becomes easier. But the truth is, the habit often matters more than the amount at the beginning. Starting with a small amount teaches you consistency, teaches you patience, teaches you how markets move, and it gets time working in your favor. Even small monthly contributions can become meaningful when repeated for years. The key is not trying to invest a huge amount once. The key is building the habit of investing regularly, month after month, year after year. This is why automatic investing can be so powerful. When you automate the process, you remove emotion from the decision. You do not have to ask yourself every month, should I invest now? The system does it for you. And over time, those small repeated actions can turn into something much bigger. Now here is the part most people miss. Compound interest needs time to work. But many beginners interrupt the process before it becomes powerful. They invest for a few months. Then the market drops. They panic. They sell. Then the market recovers. They feel regret. Then they buy again at a higher price. This cycle destroys long-term growth. Another way people interrupt compounding is by constantly withdrawing their money. Every time you remove money from your investment account, you are not only taking out today's money. You are also taking away the future growth that money could have created. That is why investing money you may need soon can be dangerous. If you need the money for rent, emergencies, or bills, it probably should not be invested in risky assets. Your investments need time. They need space. They need patience. Compounding works best when you let the money stay invested long enough to grow. Let's use a simple example. Imagine you invest money every month into a diversified investment. At first, most of the growth comes from your own contributions. You put money in. The account slowly rises. It does not feel exciting. But after years of consistency, something changes. The growth starts coming not only from your deposits, but also from the returns your money has already created. That is the turning point. At first, you are doing most of the work. Later, your money begins doing more of the work. That is the goal of compounding. You are not trying to get rich overnight. You are trying to build a system where your money has enough time to multiply slowly. This is why patience is not optional in investing. Patience is part of the strategy. Without patience, compounding never reaches its full power. So how can beginners actually use compound interest? First, start with your foundation. Have emergency savings. Understand your debt. Make sure you are not investing money you need immediately. Second, start small if you need to. Do not wait until everything is perfect. The habit matters. Third, invest regularly. A small amount invested consistently can be more powerful than waiting years to invest a large amount once. Fourth, stay diversified. You do not want your entire future depending on one company, one trend, or one risky idea. Fifth, keep costs low. High fees can quietly eat away at your returns and weaken the power of compounding. And finally, think long-term. Compounding does not reward impatience. It rewards time. The longer your money stays invested, the more opportunity it has to grow. The biggest mistake beginners make is expecting compound interest to feel exciting immediately. It usually does not. In the beginning, it can feel slow. You invest money. You wait. The account moves up and down. Some months feel good. Some months feel frustrating. And it is easy to think, this is not working. But that is the wrong way to look at it. Compounding is not designed to impress you in the first few months. It is designed to reward you over many years. The real danger is quitting too early, selling too often, chasing hype, jumping from one trend to another, or constantly trying to speed up a process that works best when it is left alone. You do not need to become a market genius. You need to become consistent enough to let time do its job. That is the mindset beginners need. Compound interest is simple but powerful. Your money earns returns. Those returns begin earning returns. And over time, the growth can become bigger than most beginners expect. But it only works if you give it time. Start small. Stay consistent. Avoid emotional decisions. Keep your costs low. And let time do the heavy lifting. If this video helped you, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos about investing, money habits, and building long-term wealth. And if you want to avoid the most common mistakes beginners make when they start investing, watch the next video on the screen. 7 investing mistakes beginners must avoid. I will see you there.